Another way would be, and I think that is going to be the one that is going to be the most interesting to a lot of people, is that there's like a window where you basically get every season new stuff is added to the battle pass shop or the seasonal shop. Let's forget the word battle pass here for a second, because that is what makes you think like I need to unlock everything because the label battle pass is still on there. But if we replace that label battle pass with a shop, the seasonal shop, every season a shit ton of stuff is added. In theory, it's enough for stuff, and you'll earn enough credits or tickets throughout the season to buy everything that they added in the last season. But they also keep the stuff from the previous 2 seasons in there. Basically, window that moves forward. So if you choose to not take that one epic Winston skin because you're not interested in that one, you can swap it out for an epic Winston skin from the previous season, or you save up enough coins after 3 seasons to get the Genji or another mythic skin that you kind of missed out on, or you know what I mean, kind of giving you that opportunity to kind of make that shop bigger.
The Omnic Weekly.
Welcome everyone, it is Sunday, January 21st, and this is episode 166 of the Omnic Weekly. I am D, and this week I'm joined by Frozen.
Hello.
Hi Frozen, this time around I'm not going to make the 666 joke.
Are you not?
Nah, it just feels a little fake. We already recorded the first 4 minutes of the podcast, but I forgot to hit the record button, so we officially did not record the first 4 minutes of the podcast. And then I made a joke about, oh, it's almost like 666, but it isn't. We're never going to get to 666 because it took us like, I don't know, 6 years to get to 166. So math.
You missed a very funny joke.
Yeah, it was very funny. We all were laughing so loud. At that point, there were like 100 people watching live on YouTube, on Patreon, sorry, and they all were laughing too. But then they all died and perished, and now we're just all to ourselves again. But how you doing, Frozen?
I'm good.
Come on, say it. You can say it.
I am
Don't make me say it again. Oh, there we go.
I am so exhausted.
Because I think it was Scorpio. Someone made a comment like a few weeks ago, like, "Oh, this is the first time Frozen said that she's not tired." Frozen is now very kind of reluctant to tell anybody that she's tired, but this time around she is like super tired because she did a double shift this week.
Yeah, people got sick, and someone has to cover.
Yeah,
I earned the title of being tired.
She earned the title of tired. I love how you are saying the exact thing you said last, like in the first recording. People were sick. Someone has to cover. It sounds like you're reading a script, but you are not. As I was saying just before I discovered that I was not recording, this might be a little shorter episode. One, because we had some technical issues. As people on YouTube can see, I had a backup mic that I had to whip out already, but turns out there was a cable that was broken, and we had this annoying hum. We're going to keep... don't get too emotional, Frozen. It's fine. It's just a cable. You're wiping a tear away. Now we're going to keep an eye on the humming sounds that that should be absent now, but let's see if they come back or not. We don't want to annoy you guys. But other than that, yeah, it's just a week where not a lot has happened in Overwatch, because we're getting close to the next season. I would close. I mean, there's only like 3 weeks away. So Blizzard is kind of doing that whole silence before the storm thing, where they are holding their breath, and then the week before the season is going to be released, they're just going to throw it all out there. It's just going to come out like a huge stream of content vomit.
So don't worry, even if today's podcast might be a tiny bit shorter, there's more coming. There's more coming.
Tiny bit. Like, we've been doing like 1 hour and 20-minute episodes in the last few weeks, and I mean, I've tried. My goal is always to kind of land around the hour, so we're going to make up for that and kind of land a little under the hour today. Not that is the goal, but you know, kind of. I wanted to warn you guys about that. Yeah, and Frozen has an important call to do later today, so family call. But anyways, let's maybe dive in. Like, the biggest parts of news. Well, I think the biggest news this week was something that came from Aaron, but keep that for last. First off, the Diva Hero Mastery went live this week.
Mm.
Have you played it?
No.
Have you played any Hero Mastery?
I don't think. I touched the first 3 that were released. After that, I kind of lost interest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I'd rather play in a game and learn that way than improving something in Hero Masteries. But also, maybe it's just that heroes that I might be interested in aren't released yet. Like, I will probably play the one for Ana, but that's it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that is kind of the case with these things, is that they are very focused on what your main is going to be, that is what the one that you're going to try to get as far as possible. That the others are kind of nice. Like I played the Lucio one, I played the May one to record a video really shortly, but I never really, I am going to be honest, I just kind of do the first run to kind of see what it's all about, and that kind of that's where it ends for me. I don't know. It's not my thing. I do think people enjoy it. I have no idea actually how many people play it. If you play it, let us know in a comment, because I'm kind of curious to learn if people actually play the Hero Masteries. Let me have a look on the. It always is a good indicator is the amount of likes that a post gets on the topic, and it's kind of just below average. So I don't think it's going to be the most popular mode, but that doesn't necessarily have to be the case every single time. I think there is value to adding stuff to the game that is not necessarily for everybody, but as long as the group is big enough. I think the same goes for the workshop. I think there's a very small group of people that really work with the tool and kind of create stuff. Then there's a bigger group that plays the workshop modes, and then there's a huge group that never touches it, and then maybe, well, like we do, and when we're in queue, we kind of jump into one of them, but that's about it.
I mean, I enjoy playing some workshop modes. We have gun game, of course, but I don't know. Infinite Stairs is kind of funny to me sometimes. It's kind of like Flappy Bird, but Overwatch, where you can like upgrade your characters. And one evening I got really into it, and I think I played it for like 4 to 5 hours.
Really? Damn, 4 to 5 hours? What the hell?
To get as high as possible, yeah.
Damn.
And like I think Michael and Koba played with me. That was an evening.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, workshop can be fun.
Yeah, all right. But 4 to 5 hours, that is some persistence right there.
I was really wanting to overtake Michael because the game failed me and I got kicked out, and then he took my spot as first, and I wanted to get him, but it took a long while.
Oh yeah, we're just being stubborn. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I understand. I can relate to that. Sometimes I'll end up going to bed really late because I do not want to go to bed after a lose streak. So I keep playing till I get a decent game where I win. But sometimes that can take a while. Sometimes that can be a few hours, to say the least. Well, it's a few hours. No, really. I've been having some really bad games lately. I don't know what's going on, but the amount of DPS Moras, the amount of tanks that are playing like they're just a chunky DPS, like it's been
kind of worse in the evening, I feel like.
Yeah, maybe.
Morning games are more fun and balanced, but evening games when all the casual players get on is usually
with the drunk players, the players that are a little too stoned to be playing,
where like things can go downhill.
Yep. Yeah, at 2 and 3 in the morning, the games get very, very interesting. I don't think it's a good idea to be playing at that time anymore. I need to keep an eye on that.
At least not alone.
No, exactly. Well, yeah, you don't want to drag anybody into your hell if it's kind that early in the morning. People should be sleeping, plain and simple.
Depends who it is and if time.
Yeah, true. We also got the release of the I'm going to go. There's so little that happened that we're going to dive into the shop, but I think it is an interesting one. It's another set of recolors. The Hanzo, I don't know what the name is exactly, but it is the one that they released for Halloween, I think, with the pointy thing on his head.
I'm very sorry for all the people who enjoy this skin. Like, the colors are better with the recolor, but I just find the skin quite ugly.
It is an ugly skin. And especially that thing on top of his head. And I don't want to offend anybody because I think it is very culturally appropriate. Something. I have no idea what it is exactly. I looked it up back in the day. Like, when the first skin was released around Halloween, what it was a whole spiritual, well, kind of demon thing. Like it was tied into Halloween, so it had a bit of a
I mean,
spooky.
it has a
time.
place. It is there, but it's not a skin I would choose.
No, I just wonder how he walks through doors with that thing on top of his head.
Either it's glued on his head, or he just falls off constantly.
I think it's going to be the second one, right? Otherwise, he's just going to get stuck. Although he is always kind of hunched forward when he's walking. That sounds dangerous, man. Yeah, you can't poke someone's eye out with that
It's
thing.
like door frames all the time, or they have really high doors.
In Japan, maybe. I don't think so. They do, right? Like these sliding doors, the paper doors.
When I was in Japan, I was like actually an average size there. Like for being tall, I was like as tall as some of the guys there.
Yeah.
So they're not that tall.
No, they're
Japan.
not. They're not. That's one of the reasons I want to go to Japan, because I'm 6'7".
You would stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah, I want to rule them. I want to kind of walk around and just have my hands in the air and go, "I am your overlord. Obey me." With my booming voice.
I'm 5'2", and I was like average size there. There were a lot of people smaller than me, and like few people like taller than me.
I'm looking forward to the beds. That's going to be fun. Don't they have like the beds that are standing on the floor? And I don't think it's the case in the hotels. That is very traditional, I think.
It depends where you go. What do you mean, like standing on the floor?
Yeah, like where they don't, like our beds are always kind of lifted off the floor. They have these kind of almost like stages where they sleep on.
I mean, I didn't have that, but we had futons there. So it's basically a bed that you can roll up and put aside during the day, and then like unroll and sleep in there during like the night. So you can use the space for like just sitting around like or living in the day, but like can save space.
That actually makes sense. Yeah,
that was really nice.
Yeah. Well, it's still on my wish list. I'm going to be honest. I was looking this weekend and maybe getting some tickets to Japan and just going there. I feel like I don't know what it is. I just feel like I need to travel. I need to go out. I've been too hesitant. I mean, I have the freedom now. I don't have a 9-to-5 job anymore to adhere to and to go like, oh no, I need to take time off to go. No, I can't just go. I could just go.
If you want recommendations on destinations there, I got you.
Yeah.
I've been there for 3 weeks, seen a lot.
First she's bragging about the snow, now she's bragging about Japan. There's no stopping this lady, man. If it's snowing in Japan, it's going to be double.
If you need like recommendations on where to stay, what's like affordable but what's still like central and good, I got you.
All right. Well, if in case I should decide to go, I'll let you know. But it's definitely on my wish list. It is a place that I'm going to visit somewhere in the next, I want to say in the next 2 years. I need to be there. I need to have passed. The sooner the better.
Ash kind of also has that style that could be similar to, even though it's kind of, they're both like Chinese New Year themed, could also be like Japanese style, if I'm honest. The Ash skin.
Oh, yeah. I don't know where that original came from. I know that the Hanzo one is actually is a Halloween skin, so it's not really tied into the Lunar New Year.
I think the Ash one is a Lunar New Year.
Could be.
Recolor, but I think I like the recolor more than the actual Lunar New Year skin.
I don't know. I compared them not too long ago. I don't remember exactly what it looked like because I mean, so many skins I see. But I do remember thinking like, oh, I think this is a case where I like the original better. Not maybe too different, but Ash has a lot of beautiful skins. She is one of those heroes that is blessed with quite a few impressive skins that, well, kind of put you into a spot where you need to make choices at the start of a game. There's only a few heroes that kind of get me into that place where I'm like, okay, what skin am I going to use? And she's one of them. But lately, I've been using her, the puppet one that we got for Halloween this year. That was really beautiful. Yeah, really creepy doll.
I'm switching between her lore skin, her where she has the long hair. I'm switching between that, Red Riding Hood, and Puppet right now.
Yeah, Red Riding Hood is also good.
I love Bob and Red Riding Hood.
Yeah, the wolf. Yeah.
so cool with like this little grandma hat on.
And if you get the golden bob, it's extra impressive. Like there's the one skin where he's a tiger, and the Ash skin looks kind of. I don't like the Ash skin on that set, but the bob looks just so amazing, especially in gold with the tiger. Oh man, that is so good.
Still thinking which one is gonna be my next golden gun, but Bob is like Ash is high in the race because it's just one golden Bob.
Yeah, I think that would be a good choice. I mean, the Ash weapon in gold also looks good. It's not only the Bob, like Ash or golden weapon is also kind of nice when you get it in gold.
She's one of the few DPS I actually play too.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 support gold weapons by now. I think it's pick something else.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, definitely. I think that would be a good choice. But anyways, those were released to the shop. As always, there was some feedback, some pushback on the fact that they're recolors again. I made a whole video about what the recolors, if they really are a problem or not. Go check out my YouTube channel if you want to see that video. People ended up agreeing with me that, well, most of the people at least. There were, of course, some people that, there were some people in there that kept. There was one person that went all the way back to the argument, like, I bought the game 7 years ago and they took it away from me. That brought back a lot of memories, that one comment. I mean, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. I'm not here to judge, but that really brought back like some spicy moments back when Overwatch 2 released and people felt cheated out of their $60 that they had been playing for 6 years.
I may never have that, since when I got it back then, it was $20 already.
Yeah.
Because I started later, and also the game was gifted to me, so I basically didn't pay anything for Overwatch. So maybe I just don't understand.
Look,
but it's been so many years by now. If you have at least, I don't know, a few hundred hours in the game, that money is already worth it. Like, imagine if you have paid $60, you have 600 hours game. That's basically €1 for an hour of playtime.
It just comes out of at some point. I've said this before in one of my videos. At some point, like, it's a relationship, and once you get into a fight in a relationship, you're going to start dragging in everything that you can think of, even if it doesn't make any more sense anymore. And I'm not going to claim that it is the same people complaining about being cheated out of the $60 that they paid 7 years ago. But I remember, as we kind of drew closer and closer to the end of the Overwatch 1 era, one of the most requested things was make Overwatch free to play. Because, like you said, the price had dropped to $20. At some moments, it was like $9 that you had to pay, or $10 that you had to pay if they did like an extra sale. And people were like, just make it free to play. All the other stuff that came with the free to play was something that a lot of people did not expect. They were kind of not happy with, and now they're kind of all going back. No, reverse it. Same with 6 versus 6, 5 versus 5. Everybody was complaining about double shield. We need to stop the double shield. Stop adding.
I saw an old clip today of Overwatch 1 where Bastion was still like, could be in like static turret mode with old Orisa and Sigma. And the horror that it was playing Bastion with 2 shields for the enemy team. I saw a clip today. I was like, I never want that back ever again. That was so horrible.
We tend to forget all the things that kind of made us angry back in the day, and we kind of look back at it with a sort of, I don't know, nostalgia filter or angry filter versus towards everything that the game is right now, although that the game is actually in a good spot. But that is not, I mean, we've talked about that plenty enough. We're not going to come back to that. Let me just move forward with what else that happened this week. Not a lot of people, well, everybody will have noticed, but I didn't see a lot of people talking about this, but the Winter Fair shop closed down this week. So it lasted a week longer than the actual event to give people the chance to spend their tickets. But all your tickets that you had for the Winter Fair event have now been turned into credits. And the transfer rate was extremely weird. It was 3.368 something credits for every ticket you had. Like, I had 150 tickets and I got $360 out of it. 360 credits, sorry. Which is such a weird number. I don't know how they decided on it, why it is so random. Maybe there's a reason why it is so random. I don't know.
It was strange. I mean, I'm glad they didn't just convert it 101, like 1 ticket, 1 credit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just a weird number to have. I mean, they could have said, "Hey, 1 ticket, 4, or 3, or 5."
Yeah,
But
3 would have made sense. I mean, look,
weird
it's.
decimal.
Let me read out the whole conversion rate. It's 3.13043478. What is that? Look, I can show it on my phone. I just did the math.
This just looks like someone trying to like calculate like something with a circle or something.
I have no idea what happened.
Pi. What conversion rate should we take? How about pi?
If they just have done 3 credits for every ticket, it would have been 345, which would have been. I'm going to be honest. I don't care about the credits. I have like 20, 30,000 of them. I this little extra 300 credits will not make any difference in my spending behavior or whatnot. But yeah, it was kind of weird. But anyways, you don't have any tickets anymore. You have some extra credits, so now you can spend all those on other old skins basically, and in the hero gallery. It was kind of a weird event, like the Winter Wonderland. I think a lot of people were unhappy with the bundle that they released, and I still think it was kind of like the worst move they could make at that point. I can totally understand that you want to give people a way that don't have enough time to play the game to kind of give a way to catch up, but this is not a catch-up mechanic. This was just it at this moment in this community within the state it is right now, with the trust being so low. It was just a very weird decision to release a bundle that gives you more tickets than you can actually earn in game. That was really weird. Give people like 200, 300 tickets to catch up or whatever, but not. That was weird.
Let's just hope they learned from that.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I don't understand why they did it in the first place, but I mean, they must have reasons. It just was bullshit, kind of.
They didn't comment about it at all, so they have not, like, the kind of feedback that came on that is not something that they addressed.
Kind of feels like they knew it wasn't good, but they did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Or I don't know if they had to. I'm not sure what that is, but it would be nice if they at least communicate, like, this is why we did it.
Yeah, what the reasoning was behind it, that would definitely help. But no, that is not something that happened. It was just kind of, how did they say that? Kind of treat it as if it was not an issue, kind of just look beyond it. And I mean, it is only just one event in a whole year. It was maybe a test. It was maybe to figure out how people would react to it, and they have learned that lesson. We'll see. I still think that what they did there is kind of a way that they wanted to test the future of the battle pass in general. I'm still convinced that is a thing. I think that is something in the direction that they're looking, especially because it gives you more of choice in what cosmetics you get out of your experience and how you kind of spend your money, instead of just being having souvenirs forced down your throat.
I still think if they would implement something like this in a battle pass, they should have the option of, you play and finish the battle pass, you should be able to buy everything in there.
Yeah. The thing is, of course, like, at what point, because I understand why you're saying that, but the way, from I'm kind of a...
I don't know, I'm talking about the battle pass.
Yeah.
I don't care about these events.
Yeah, but about the battle pass, for instance, let's say that they bring out this wide range of cosmetics, and instead of just kind of putting them in different levels, they give you the choice of which one you pick up. The moment they give you enough credits to pick up everything that is in that shop, let's call it, what is the use of using that system? It doesn't give you a lot of choice. You just get the choice in the order in which you get it, but you don't get a choice because either you'll kind of not spend the credits or the tickets that you get, and then they'll be transferred into credits, or you just spend everything and basically did the same thing than if you had a battle pass.
I don't know. There's still people who, I mean, I'm talking about like if you have not the premium, but the paid battle pass, of pay $10, if you finish the battle pass, you should be able to at least be able to get everything in there. I'm not talking about the free version of the battle pass, but I know more people that paid for the battle pass and still didn't get to level 80 and still didn't finish it yet. So I don't know. If I paid $10 for a battle pass, I want to be able to get everything in there.
Yeah, I mean, you
like
want to.
if I make it to level 80, that is, you know.
Yeah.
If I play, like, I can maybe choose, hey, I don't really want this one. I can just leave that out and get my credits converted that I earned. But I feel like if they did it like this with the battle pass, it would more feel like taking something away from you than adding something.
I don't know. I really understand why you're saying that, and I follow you to a certain extent. But I'm also thinking, like, let's say, like, I'm going to go on a bit of a, how do you say that, off track here. But let's say that we compare it to fashion, for instance. Like a new range of clothes comes out, a new season, like a new whatever they call it. You want to kind of pick the things that you like and kind of make enough money or get enough credits to kind of buy the stuff that you want, but you'll want to have the choice to kind of pick those things up. And it's like a psychological thing. It's like if you, let's say you get 80 credits and there's like a 40 credit item you want, but there's another 40 item credit you want, the chance for you to get both of them and nothing else is going to kind of be more interesting to you, and then that way you can buy all the other shit. But you could also choose the route where you buy one of those 40 credit items and you buy a lot of other smaller things, you know, where you get the choice to kind of pick and choose within that set of 80 credits that you got to kind of map your own experience and what you want. The moment that you get a choice of the chance of missing some stuff, it also makes the things that you get more valuable and kind of more interesting. You will get way more excited to work towards that than if, well, I'll end up getting everything anyways, so who cares? I'll just pick the one I want first, and then I'll just progress through it, and maybe I'll leave some things out, and I'll get credits credits that I don't care about at all. Do you know what I mean? It's like a slight difference.
I kind of know what you mean, but I don't know. I feel like back on that week.
Oh, you're clipping.
I mean, I didn't really care about the winter stuff since I just didn't really care about like some of those skins. So I didn't care that I was not gonna be able to buy any of them. But I feel like the battle pass is always something where you actually like play, invest time, and earn everything on there. And if you want to complete and finish the battle pass, and if you invest that time and say, hey, I'm gonna level up to level 80 or even get some titles on there and level even more, and then you're not able to like technically buy all the things in the battle pass, it just feels like even though you might have paid for the battle pass, you still don't get the chance to get everything.
Yeah, like that is like putting an old.
Still get to like, of course, you still get to pick and choose because you can say, "Hey, I don't care about this skin, for example. I'm just not gonna buy it," or I might not be. But like, not giving the people the chance to get it anyways. I mean, might
Isn't that worse? Isn't that worse if you think about it? If you get to choose something that you do not want, they give you something that is completely useless. They basically cut out a part of the experience, not because you did not manage to get it, but just because you're not interested. What I'm thinking out loud here because I fully understand what you say, and I would kind of agree with you. But then I'm also thinking, like, I think the interesting thing about giving people the choice is making sure that there's enough choice, and that is what they did with the Wonderland event, and that the argument was that I followed when Aaron took to Twitter. Jared Nurse took to Twitter and said, like, yeah, but we added 5 skins. You could only get 4, but that was because we wanted to give you the choice. Like, we could have just put in 4 skins and everybody would have had everything. We added the 5th one for the people that were not interested in one of the others to get the other. You know what I mean? Like, as a choice. But that backfired on them, which I found unreasonable because I was not interested in the cardboard Reinhardt. I had already had the Widowmaker skin on some of my accounts, but on the accounts where I did not have the Widowmaker skin, I was glad that I had the choice go for the Widowmaker instead of the Reinhardt. The way you can circumvent that is maybe by still putting some stuff on the track or in tier levels that you unlock and that you get different choices. Another way would be, and I think that is going to be the one that is going to be the most interesting to a lot of people, is that there's like a window where you basically get every season new stuff is added to the Battle Pass shop or the seasonal shop. Let's forget the word Battle Pass here for a second, because that is what makes you think like I need to unlock everything because the label Battle Pass is still on there. But if we replace that label Battle Pass with a shop, the seasonal shop, every season a shit ton of stuff is added. In theory, it's enough for stuff, and you'll earn enough credits or tickets throughout the season to buy everything that they added in the last season. But they also keep the stuff from the previous 2 seasons in there. Basically, window that moves forward. So if you choose to not take that one epic Winston skin because you're not interested in that one, you can swap it out for an epic Winston skin from the previous season, or you save up enough coins after 3 seasons to get the Genji or another mythic skin that you kind of missed out on, or you know what I mean? Kind of giving you that opportunity to kind of make that shop bigger.
Yeah, but that's different. I feel like if they would do something like that, that would be a better choice. Because if they chose the already existing battle pass again, and they would change it to something like the Winter Wonderland, it would just be like they were taking something away. But that's not like what's actually happening. But I mean, from the psychological viewpoint, like for a lot of people, it might feel like that would be taking something away. But if they approach it differently with like the shop that you said right now, that might be a better thing, since you could just like, hey, I could buy this, but I don't really want to. I'd rather save up for maybe I missed a mythic skin and I can get that. Like that seems better to me.
Yeah,
since that like supports choice more. But also, if you're like, oh, I just want to get everything from this season, I can if I want to.
Yeah, which is going to be very rare. But let's be honest, like everything that they add in a battle pass, I think there's in the whole battle pass there's like 7 or 8 items I enjoy, and all the rest are just stuff that I don't even know that I own. But that is my personal experience. I don't want to kind of put that experience on anybody else. I think that is a puzzle that they're putting together right now, and I think a lot of people wouldn't be happy if they had access to previous seasons. I said 3. It could be the whole year. It could be all of them. Just know that at the moment they start putting stuff in there, well, not exclude. They could also put stuff like that in the normal shop. There's never going to be a way for you to buy those things with credits. Although they could just. They do it right now. They could add a credit price and they could add a ticket price to an item that is old, that is season 1. I think that is going to be interesting. That would definitely be a way forward. I think the whole idea of the Battle Pass as it exists right now was good 8 years ago, but it has been so tuned towards just favoring the shop. And I think people complain a little too much about the Overwatch Battle Pass. It is a short Battle Pass. You get value for your money. If you spend the $10, the chances of you getting through there, I'm almost going to hit. I think I'm going to hit level 200 on 2 of my 3 accounts. I'm not going to hit it on the 3rd one. That is just insane. And it's not like I'm playing a lot. I stream more than I used to last year, but I mean, it's not like anybody that plays a few hours a week is definitely getting the value out of that battle pass, and I don't think that is something they're going to change.
It would be different. It would be different because I only thought about the things that are actually in the battle pass, that you just get those. But if you take, for example, skins that are usually in the shop, and you would say, hey, I don't want these items out of the battle pass, I'm not going to get them, but I'm going to get this skin that would technically be a shop item, but I just didn't buy a lot buy the things from the battle pass that I wanted with the credits or money that I earned from playing. So you could do stuff like that. I think that would be nicer.
Yeah, I think they need to drop the name Battle Pass. I think that is they just need to drop the Battle Pass and make it more into I don't know.
They unify the shop kind of. and said, hey, you can earn by playing. You can earn a certain amount per season, and you can spend that in the shop to get the skins and items and stuff that you want.
Mm-hmm. That would
And
actually make more sense.
It will be like worth of like the amount worth of a battle pass. You can still get cosmetics and skins and things that you want. There is a certain amount of skins, maybe like also the big skin and everything that you can get. But like that, then pick and choosing, like we get the same amount of content, but you don't have to have a set amount of things. Like I don't want this epic skin, or I don't care about this legendary skin, but something that would have been a shop item you can just get now.
Yeah.
That would definitely be better.
Yeah. And the reason why they would still make it a separate currency and not just give you credits for every few levels that you get is because they want to put a ceiling on that, of course. They don't want people to grind endlessly just to get the coins. I mean, not credits, coins. By making it tickets, it kind of puts a ceiling in it. It kind of really frames that experience. It kind of makes clear what you're actually working for. And later at the end of the season, all those tickets are, just like with the Winter Fair, transferred into credits, and you know what you can expect from the credits. So I know at some point we're going to have a lot of currencies, but it does kind of really outline the expectations of every kind of currency and what you can do with it. Except for new people, it is kind of confusing. That is something to take into account. You have Overwatch credits, which are legacy. You have Overwatch coins that are shop-based. You have Overwatch tickets that are kind of seasonal. You have Overwatch League coins, which are used for esports stuff.
The Overwatch League coin kind of not that important right now, since the Overwatch League.
Yeah, we'll see what they have planned for the Overwatch League or esports in general this year. We haven't had any update on what their plans are, but we'll see what their plans are going to be. The fact that there's still like an Overwatch League shop in the game, I don't know. I feel like they might be not certain yet what they're going to do and how that is going to land, but they'll have to work it out in the next few weeks and months. Because
I mean, in general, like things with the currency, they've been like trying to figure out stuff since the beginning of Overwatch 2 and struggling sometimes. So like, I'm really interested in how just the amount of currencies, what type of currencies, like everything is going to turn out this year.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to learn about that. I think the second week of season 9. So we talked about this last week, but Aaron Keller did his director's take, which is his blog. He does that every 2 weeks, and there's a series of 4 blogs that he has been writing on. The first episode was the one he released last week. That last one, the whole series. Let me just clarify that the whole series is about the future of Overwatch, specifically this year, but also beyond. And the first one was about these experiments that they're doing in quicker play and basically their design vision and how they want to kind of evolve this game over the next few years, which is a video I'm actually working on, or that is being edited as we speak. That should be uploaded tonight, about the fact that this game is going to change in the next few years, and it is going to change substantially. I think Blizzard is looking at this game in a way that, okay, this has been Overwatch in the last 7 years. It's time to move on to something else. The next episode is going to be about competitive. That should be coming out next Friday. That is all going to kind of outline what we can expect from competitive, including the new weapons and all that stuff. Then 2 weeks later, just before the release of Overwatch Season 9, we're going to get the hero balancing director's take, which is going to be perfectly timed because, as Aaron Keller has said, in Season 9, they want to address damage spikes. They already talked about the self-healing passive on tanks and DPS. They're going to outline all their plans in that one blog. And the last one they wanted to talk about was labeled economy. Economy could be anything. It could also be completely detached from Battle Pass or shops or anything, but I do think it's going to be about the Battle Pass and the shop. And the fact that they're calling it economy and not Battle Pass and shop does give me kind of it makes me think that they're not going to be talking about a Battle Pass anymore, that we're really going away from that model and that we're going into some new territory. But that is just me kind of basing an opinion or an idea on simply the title of, or the way that Aaron phrased that, because and that is risky, but because Aaron sometimes, with all due respect, I love the man. I met him at BlizzCon. He's awesome. He's a very nice dude, but he tends to phrase things sometimes kind of weird, and that brings me to the next topic. Let's just move on.
Can get a bit cryptic, yeah.
Yeah. There's 2 more things I need to talk about at the end, but I'll keep those for the end. So earlier this week, or just before the weekend, Aaron tweeted really in the middle of the night. I was awake because I was on one of those losing streaks and tried to get to a winning game before I went to bed. He tweeted to thank everybody for the feedback that they got on Quicker Play. And he kind of phrased it in a weird way that made it sound like they were going to do changes to Quicker Play and bring it back next season. We posted about that it might come back next season. Turns out that is not the way he meant it. What he meant is that, at least that's what he... someone asked him, like, what do you mean? Is Quicker Play coming back next season, or is Quick Play Hacked coming back next season? And his answer wasn't 100% clear either, but I'm going to say that his answer was that it is Quicker Play Hacked, not Quick Play Hacked, not Quicker Play that is coming back next season. So that would mean that we're not getting another Quick Play Hacked this season, as they said initially, but that was moved to season 9, and that Quicker Play is not coming back as a Quick Play Hacked, and that they're looking into ways of incorporating the feedback that we gave on Quicker Play into the actual game. And he actually added on that they're looking at faster payload speeds. Something I retained from my video. I made a whole video on 5 things I wanted to retain from Quicker Play in the actual game. Go watch in case you haven't seen it yet. But one of the things that I said, or one was the payload speed, and second was the push bot. And those are 2 things they're looking at. They're looking at setup times, for instance, to make those shorter. The response times, like all these things, and looking at how they can make them work in the actual game, which I think is good news. They kind of took the feedback, and I know a lot of people are kind of on their back legs, yelling, slamming the chest, going, oh, we didn't want this sucked. Look, they're not going to bring that back as it was. We're just going to see some changes that are going to make the game more interesting. And they're most likely going to test those before they actually release it. I'm still convinced. I was thinking that the next Quicker Play the next Quick Play Hacked, might be the balancing changes that they're going to do for the next season. But if they mushed it all back to season 9, or pushed it all back instead of mushed, that might be something different. I don't know. It is very unclear, and that's what I meant. But there have been some instances where the communication led to incorrect news being passed around, and I can understand that it is difficult to kind of keep that tone balanced and to kind of
things being misunderstood and it was kind of clear.
Yeah. And there's so much history and there's so much expectations that anything that you say will be torn apart from all different directions. But I reread the tweet on which I based a post for the Quicker Play coming back, and because I was like, shit, maybe I misread it. And I read the original tweet and was like, yeah, no, okay, that really reads like he said that Quicker Play is coming back and not Quick Play Hacked. But yeah, look, on top of the fact that it is not always easy to kind of communicate within all the expectations and all the history and whatnot, there's also the enthusiasm for what they're doing and whatnot that is in play. And yeah, I forgive him. But anyways, that's why I said, like, sometimes you need to take the communication or anything that they say, including the title economy for that one last blog, with a grain of salt. We'll see how it all ends up. But we'll see. I mean, Quicker Play is most likely not coming back. I'm still not 100% certain on, because his answer was still not 100% clear. If I read his answer to that original question, by guys from Cavalry, I don't know. I still am like, wait, no, that doesn't make it any clearer. But we're just going to assume that is what he meant and move forward.
We'll see.
Honestly, yeah, but again,
we can only theorize.
That is why, because that is one of the sentences I use the most in all of my videos. We'll see is exactly that, because sometimes they change their mind, sometimes plans shift. There's always like a little thread that you can follow, but that thread will also get you at your it'll make your head bump into walls or doors, like in Hanzo's case. Hey, little, how do you call that? There's a word for that, like callback. That's exactly it. All right. Other than that, 2 more facts for this week is that starting this week, you can get the Rosewood Mora skin with Prime Gaming. So if you have a Prime Gamer membership, go claim your Mora Rosewood skin. It's an epic skin. It is actually a pretty nice skin. I don't know. A lot
It
of
is
Mora
really
players
pretty.
kind of like it.
I'm kind of glad that I didn't buy it because now I got it for free.
Yeah. And I have an account on which I have Prime. I just need to figure out which account it is. It kind of came out with the Ice Queen, or the kind of the Queen looking more. I kind of ran at the same time, and that one kind of blew out the this Rosewood one kind of over. How do you say that? Kind of tuned it out.
Overshadowed it.
Overshadowed it. Thank you, Frozen. Thank you. Kind of overshadowed it, but it is still a pretty nice looking skin, especially for an epic. And on top of that,
quite creepy, and I love it.
yeah, it's kind of weird with the eye, like yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah. And the final bit of news is that Iari is now back in competitive. So a bug fix patch was rolled out. In case you missed it, Iari was not available in competitive due to a bug that did not reset her ammo properly. So people would get the chance of getting infinite ammo, which you do not want on Iari. Trust me, headshots everywhere. A good Iari would just kind of decimate a team. So that is why they removed her from competitive, or locked her out of competitive. Now on Thursday, sorry. Bug fix patch was rolled out that also addressed the double click ping issue. Some people have been complaining about that if you double click, the ping wasn't working anymore, and that is now fixed. So now you can double click the ping again. But that was kind of all the news we got this week. Not super much, but I think, like I said, we're approaching season 9. We're getting close to that window when they'll start talking about everything that we can expect.
Season 9 is gonna be bigger. Things coming. So
yeah, like from what they've been kind of saying in those blogs, it looks like it is going to be a pretty big, season. Not season 6 levels, but definitely more than 7 and 8 has been. I think it is going to be the most interesting season since we've seen it since season 6. So we better brace ourselves because that is coming. I'm actually going to make a video about that next week. I need to remind myself of kind of looking forward to season 9. The thing is, at this point, we can't always do. We don't know exactly what the content is going to be, but there's always a vibe before a season that like, okay, this is what is going to be in there.
I don't know, the season after the season for like Christmas and New Year's kind of always a bit mysterious to me because I never can pinpoint what the theme could be.
Yeah.
Like for Halloween, it's gonna be some. For like Christmas, you kind of know what's coming at you, what you can expect. But for those seasons who have like no holidays in it, like no Easter, no everything.
Well, Valentine is in there. They did some awesome things with Valentine. Yes.
Yeah, true. But it's always kind of a bit ambiguous on what they're gonna do.
Yeah, it is. It is one of those. It kind of falls, season 9 kind of falls in between the Chinese New Year. We'll have Valentine in there, but it also kind of ends before the old anniversary event would happen. There was another event that always happened around that time, or the Archives event. But yeah, that is long time gone. I still think that they should bring back the Archives missions in the PvE section.
I love that so much. That was one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah.
Archives missions were so fun.
Yeah, it was. And the anniversary kind of gave you the chance to play all of it. But anyways, that is something for a next episode of the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah. It is. I think it's going to be an interesting season. We'll see. It is indeed. Like when it comes to, I get on my stream, I get the question a lot. Like, what do you think is going to be the next mythic skin? What do you think is going to be the theme of the next season? And that is impossible. It's impossible to predict that because, like, we had the Christmas season, but the Christmas season had nothing to do with Christmas itself. Halloween season kind of had that Diablo thing to it, the crossover thing a little bit. But other than that,
I kind of feel like I know I might can expect something for season 10 when Venture releases, but I don't know about because I feel like because Venture, like we also got some like theories about Venture archaeologists and stuff like that. So I might feel like that.
Oh yeah, it would be really fitting. Yeah.
would be fitting with Egyptian mythology that they announced. So would fit with like the release of Venture, but like that's season 10, not season. So
Yeah, I kind of think that would be nice to start linking up these things again, where you get a season kind of tied into at least a bit the time of the year. I mean, like what was it again? The Greek mythology came in December. I found that so weird. That was the perfect season to do in the summer around the Olympics, which might initially have been the plan, but because of everything that happened, it turned out that because of things being delayed and whatnot over and over again, that did not make it, and then it ended up in December. I can understand that happened, but it would be nice to kind of in due time have those things kind of make more sense, so to speak.
The only season like that was kind of synced up was again Halloween with the Diablo crossover.
Yeah.
I was like the only one right now that was kind of synced up to.
But it would have even been better if Diablo 4 season came around the release of Diablo 4, for instance.
True, yeah. But I mean, it was creepy enough.
Yeah. I think they're trying their best to kind of match it up, but that it's not always possible, and that it is really dependent on how far ahead are we with that season, and which are the options, which one can we release?
I feel like with Venture, like really, like I think Egyptian mythology would be
that would be perfect. That would be perfect. That would be nice. Yeah, because she does have that, or they have that. I'm going to make so many mistakes.
I mean, like with the digging and being in the ground, like the archaeologist vibes, also just to look how they look like. With like I don't know if you know the movie Atlantis, with like the little digger, like collect dirt from different, like it kind of reminds me of that guy.
yeah, it does. That is an underappreciated movie, actually.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, it was one of the first movies where they used, I think, I don't know what it was. Like, I know Beauty and the Beast was the first movie where they used 3D within a cell animated movie. The whole scene in the ballroom. Now we're kind of going off track, but look, guys, bear with us. We have not talked about food or the weather at all this podcast. So give me this. That, you know, that ballroom scene in Beauty and the Beast, that is done with a 3D software, and that was the first time they did something like that with Disney. And I think Atlantis was also one of the. I don't know what exactly they did.
Like the like movies like Atlantis or The Treasure Planet, so underappreciated.
You clipped again. What was that?
The Treasure Planet? Is it what it's called in English?
Oh, Treasure Planet.
It's called the Schatzplanet. Give me a second. I need to.
Schatzplanet. Like my favorite, the Black Cauldron was also one of those old movies. Like my favorite Disney movies are like the Black Cauldron, the Dog and the Hound.
Yeah, it's called
the Fox and the Hound. Sorry,
Fox called Treasure Planet.
Treasure Planet, is that a Disney movie?
I don't know if it's a Disney movie. It's an animated movie. Basically, it's like pirate ships in space, and the style is. I love that movie so much. It has like the same vibes as Atlantis, but in space. That pirate is really cool.
I have not seen that movie. I have not seen that movie, but it is a Disney movie, yeah.
Yeah, but those are the movies that kind of give me the vibes for Venture. It kind of fits in there too.
That little bit of steampunk, that's what you mean.
That's steampunky. That's like, I mean, again, steampunk would also be a great season in my opinion in Overwatch.
Yep, definitely.
And might need to be like a question sometimes to ask the community what would be another season you want to see or another theme for a season.
I made a whole video about it.
Yeah, great. Go watch that, guys. Go watch that. That's steampunky. That like that would fit Venture really well.
I think so too. Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see. I mean, I think both Venture and the next support here, Space Ranger is the code name. I'm very curious to see what they're going to do, what their kit is going to be like, because Mogo was like, you know, he had two big guns, and you kind of knew what to expect with him. Venture and with Space Ranger, I don't know.
Venture, like they changed their kit already after the things we saw at BlizzCon. So that's gonna be really interesting. But like the core mechanics of being able to dig under something is gonna be really interesting. It's gonna be really, I think, probably really fun to play with and intriguing. And I mean, we have no idea what Space Ranger, like what the name is gonna be like, since it's still a code name. Like they might have already found a name for that hero, or like what the mechanics of Speech Ranger is gonna be like. Are they gonna be like Tracer style, 2 guns? Is she gonna have something else?
Yeah,
We don't know.
yeah. It's going to be it's always kind of sad that you need to wait till season 10 and 12 to see that, but at the moment they're going to arrive, it's going to be fun to discover that, to get to that point.
I mean, the anticipation, you like kind of see that how popular those 2 characters are already, and they're not even out yet.
Yeah,
Like, it was kind of a smart move to like give people a look at these characters.
and you know what the thing is, it's because they are completely new characters that we have not seen. That I saw the same thing with Yari. Yari was also very kind of, everybody was very hyped about Yari because it's not even tied into anything that we know about already. She comes from a completely different part of the world where there's no tie-in with anybody else. It's completely new. I think people kind of like that. And especially with the big sword, it brings something completely different. And now she's incorporated in our game. Like, you couldn't imagine an Overwatch without her in that sense. Like, she's such a big part already of the game, or kind of incorporated, or we're so used to her now. But at the moment, back when she was introduced or teased and whatnot, that's what I like about Overwatch.
Yeah, it kind of gives more of a vibe of a new era of Overwatch. Since, like, I mean, we already had first Overwatch, but by now, like, a lot of people grew old in the team, and they're kind of.
Okay, I thought you were talking about me.
No, a lot of people grew old in the team, and they're like kind of like letting other people take over, and like kind of that new era of Overwatch with like new recruits with different stories, and it kind of has more of the feel to it, which is really nice.
Yeah. There's definitely a generational shift within the Overwatch team, and not the development team. Like, actually in the lore, the only one that is kind of being stubborn is Reinhardt. And Surgeon is also definitely going back. Surgeon is doing the whole Rachel and Ross thing, you know, kind of no, but she's going to end up coming back. They need her. And Torbjorn, on the other hand, is like, yeah, I'm done, guys. You guys have fun. I'm just going to hang here with Bastion.
Like his daughter, like kind of taking over with Tor. It's really cool.
I said he's going to hang there with Bastion, but no, Bastion goes with Reinhardt. Yeah. Because at some point he tells Reinhardt to take care of Bastion, but he's not like, take care of Brigitte. He's like, okay, make sure to bring him back in one part. Like, and your daughter? Any
take care of herself.
I know, but look, it's not because she can take care of herself that her dad should not kind of be worried about it. You know what I mean? Like,
he's worried, but he knows that what she's capable of.
Don't make any excuses for that little man. It's all you short people are sticking together.
Also, you know the prejudice Reinhardt had against Bastion, Torb has reason to say to Reinhardt, like,
he wasn't saying like bring him back in one piece and like defend him, but like don't break him, you German fool. Yeah, that might be it. That was what I might have missed right there.
He's more afraid that like Reinhardt is going to do something to Bastion.
Yeah, probably. All right, first, do you remember me saying that this was going to be a shorter episode of the podcast, that we're not going to make it to an hour?
How long are we?
Well, we're an hour. We're an hour in, so I think it's about time to round things up. We got a little sidetracked with the whole, but no, I think it was an interesting discussion with the whole battle pass and whatnot. I think we should actually get more people involved in that discussion at some point.
I'm gonna be excited to comment on this one.
You broke up again. What I heard was simity up. Dumb.
I'm gonna be excited to read the comments on this one.
Yeah. Me too. Always, actually. But yeah, that was it. Now before we do the whole end thing, I'm going to switch things up a little bit. Guys, if you enjoyed the podcast, make sure to check out the Patreon and support us. If you join our Patreon, you get early access to all these episodes on Patreon. You can follow and watch the episode being recorded live on Patreon, so come check it out. On top of that, there's a whole kind of other rewards that you get, like stickers,
and
pins,
the shenanigans that go on before an episode.
Yeah, exactly. You can hear me fail and not hit the record button. There's always a lot of there's some stuff in front and behind that you might miss if you're not well, first off, not watching on YouTube, you miss out. But also, if you don't watch on Patreon, and I have a lot of exclusive Patreon content coming, like a little room tour, like some blogs that I'm writing exclusively for Patreon. The room tour will probably end up on DMZ's at some point, but for now, the first few weeks is definitely going to be exclusive to Patreon. So come join us, patreon.com/theomnicpost. It helps us out tremendously. Frozen, where can these lovely people find you?
At Frozen Unicorn and Twitter and Instagram. First O is a 0.
There we go. Beautifully explained. You can find me as DamesTV on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Follow the Omnic Post on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube for all your updates on Overwatch. We do our best to keep everybody informed, and every single week I get at least a few people coming in my stream and telling me that they appreciate all the work we put in and that we are their source for news. And I really appreciate that. Talking about that, come check out my streams on twitch.tv/DamesTV on every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week, I'm not streaming on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, I'm doing a 12-hour stream with giveaways. I'm going to be playing other games than Overwatch. I'm also probably going to play 2 hours of Overwatch, but every 2 hours, I'm going to switch to another game. And the games, I have a little list made up of games that I'm thinking about playing. I might even do a baking session in there. Because I've been talking about doing baking on stream. My community has been asking for a hot tub stream, which they're never going to get, but a baking stream that I can do. We're going to play some horror games at the end. I'm also thinking about maybe playing some finals, Lethal Company, because I haven't played it up till now, and I know Frozen is a big fan.
No one wants to play with me.
She did a little tear for the people that listen to the other podcast. Dead by Daylight, Minecraft, even Fortnite is on there. I want to maybe try the what is it called? Pal World, that new game that everybody's so raving about, the Pokemon kind of clone-y thing with the weapons.
I saw just some funny clips of people catching humans.
Yeah, that was the
selling them.
The biggest thing that has been going around on TikTok.
Otherwise,
beautiful.
I don't know anything about that game.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll see. I'll have a short list by Monday or something. But yeah, come check it out. Wednesday, I'll be streaming from noon CET till midnight CET. It should be interesting, and I'm going to do a few giveaways. Let me see. Other than that, well, no, I think I said everything. Join our Discord, discord.gg/Damesies if you want to know more. And follow the Omnic Weekly on Instagram and Twitter. But the best thing to do is just to subscribe on whatever platform that you are listening. That is the way to do it. Now, I want to thank you all for listening. We'll be back next week. Till then, take care of yourself, take care of each other. Bye-bye.